Hello, friends. Welcome to today's message. We're just going to jump right in. I'm excited. I'm excited for this one because it is talking about action. And not to say that other readings aren't exciting or that they don't talk about action, but oftentimes with tarot messages, we're looking more at internal structures and things like that. Possibilities, probabilities, potential, that kind of a thing. This is talking about practical application and just taking action. So we're going to get into that. This reading, you will know, is for you if you have been doing your best to embody new practices, um to move towards just a new way of being and like existing. Like this is, um if there are different habits that you have been trying to practice every day. um This can be mindfulness. This can be like if it's a health regimen. This can be if it is a spiritual practice or ritual. Anything that has the intent of improving in any aspect, just your day to day life. And it starts internal and then we're going to move outward because there is also a note that I was getting as I was just sitting down preparing around forgiveness and it could benefit you to sit down with your own personal definition of forgiveness, if it is working for you right now or if it's not. If forgiveness is something that you struggle with, that definition may need to be reworked in the way that you are approaching forgiveness. And what I mean by that is it's coming through one is that you may need to be practicing self forgiveness, and that is what is difficult. There's a kind of judgment that you are casting upon yourself. Alternatively, if you struggle to forgive others, this could be because you view it as like letting them off of the hook or saying that what happened was okay. And it doesn't have to be either of those things. The kind of forgiveness I'm talking about is at its core selfish because you are choosing to not remain energetically tied to that situation, that time, that place, anybody else that may be involved. This is about choosing to energetically release what is there so that this newness can come in. And I mean that literally and figuratively. Like your body physically will hold on to certain energies and, create different kinds of problems over time, and also just in your own energetic space. This just needs to be released and cleared. This is again a very selfish form of forgiveness. This is saying I release all forms of pain and I release all of the suffering that I have engaged in since. I release and forgive myself for who I was and the decisions that I made at the time in any way that I may have contributed to the situation, or, boundaries that were not strong enough, ways I didn't protect myself or whatever. And I choose to release and forgive whoever else was involved so that they are not energetically beholden to who that is. And maybe even that releases a kind of energy within their field that creates a space where maybe they can gain perspective, where they then also grow and release that energy. And if you don't want to move into that part of it, that's fine. Again, we don't if there's still some shadow work to be done around that, that is also fine. Wherever you are in this process, I want you to be okay with it. If there is still shadow work and you're saying, no, this is like, it cannot be released yet. I know that in my heart and soul, that is just words that would be coming out of my mouth and there's no, nothing attached to it. That's fine. When you are ready, this is a reading where it feels like you are ready. There's a difference between wanting and being ready. This is a reading that is talking about ready for action. So that's enough about that, the forgiveness bit. Let's get into the actual reading because you are currently represented by the Fool, which is glorious. It's talking about newness. I was getting specifically the word renewal, a renewal. But again, mostly what I was getting was kind of there's been an awareness about how things that you are doing physically, whatever you engage in kind of in your day to day, how it contributes to your inner world and any peace that you may have or be attempting to attain. This is about doing the things that maybe even if they're boring or if they're maybe even a little painful, not in like a such an extreme kind of way, but it's, painstaking to kind of do things repetitively, or just the effort that it takes to remember to do the things. Is that kind of a thing. The kind of just mundane repetitiveness. This is like choosing to do that because you know that this is what actually helps you feel good and allows you a kind of freeness to do whatever else you need to do with your day. You were crossed with strength and the Knight of Swords, which is really talking to me a lot about, and also because you were crowned with the Hierophant. This is talking about you are connected to your intuition. What I want to note on, and I have talked about this before, so I'm going to keep it brief, is this is about being aware of your filter. This is the separation between intuition and instinct. Specifically, the gut feeling thing was another hit that I got. And again, if you've been here, you've heard me talk about this, where if you are someone who has been conditioned by fear, then your gut is going to filter anything that is new through that filter of fear and therefore present it as danger. It will register to you as dangerous. It's unsafe because I don't know what's going on, and better to be safe than sorry. So any newness, even when it comes to allowing newness like in your own being, this is not just external perception. This is you're trying to be someone new. That's not safe. What if that puts us in other dangerous situations that we can't, you know what I mean? So this is, especially if you're someone where at like random times of the day nothing is wrong, things have been going great, and then you have an awareness that things are going great, and then immediately something moves in and you physically feel discomfort. This is that. This is your system literally saying, "Oh, well, that's not. We haven't. We can't feel safe for so long. Surely something must be on the horizon." This is that, right? Moving externally, and when if you're talking about you're wanting to, have some kind of business, we do have Nine of Pentacles present here in a way that tells me this may be like business oriented. If you're stepping into like new levels of wealth that maybe you were not used to, or there are business opportunities and connections and networking and things like that are all new. This is about trusting that, having the groundedness and remaining centered in yourself to know that new is not dangerous, right? And that this is actually what you have been working towards. And so when the opportunity presents itself, this is about being clear, even if your system is processing this excitement and this anticipation as anxiety. This is about being able to, take that moment, take that breath, however it is that you ground, and be like, this is what we have been striving toward. It's okay, it's safe, and then moving forward. So again, just that need to distinguish your instinct from your intuition. If you don't have a meditative kind of practice in whatever form that helps you, kind of move back to center within a reasonable amount of time, highly recommend that you get more consistent with that kind of practice. It will serve you well in the coming, I would say, the near future. Because let me just focus. Sorry, I'm getting so excited about like what the outcome is, and I really just want to talk to you guys about that. But here we go. Subconscious influence. We have the Emperor, and I'm going to tie this in with the past influences, because what we have here is, I'm seeing a kind of imbalance between masculine and feminine energy in the past, which is contributing to this kind of hesitation around truly stepping into this new thing that you're pursuing. That is to say that maybe in the past you have been quicker to action than to planning. So quicker leaning into the masculine side of things than the feminine side of things, where the feminine is like, okay, we're going to cross our T's and dot our I's. This is the best, most efficient, whatever way to do this so that you don't get hurt and so that no one else gets hurt, so that our resources are used, to the best of their abilities, blah, 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 all that. This is saying that in the past there have been decisions and actions taken that were not thought through. Maybe this is an actual like, almost like in the flying in the face of, I don't know why that phrase specifically is coming through, because that doesn't necessarily mean anything to me. But this is like completely ignoring feelings in the past, and just moving toward a thing. I am not getting any specifics around that. Hopefully that means something to you, but this is talking about, there's a specific situation that I'm picking up on where I think your feelings maybe even literally like the like somatic feeling in your body, and I'm not just talking emotions, but like maybe your body had physical responses to a certain situation that you ignored, and it proved kind of detrimental, to have not listened to your intuition in that moment and the action that was taken. And so this has created a kind of fear towards taking actions. And again, this is more present in the subconscious, so you may not be aware. This may not even be such a big event, although it is, because it's represented by the emperor. I am inclined to feel like it is a more um like life decision, maybe. um and I'm even getting, just because of the looking at the imagery of the card specifically, this might be something that left you vulnerable. Specifically, there's a king chess piece here that's kind of giving me that indication that maybe there was a trusting of a situation or a person, that that there would be a kind of protection there, or that you felt safe with them, and that uh did not work out. But anyway, this is saying that the kind of suppression of like the emotions around that experience, the way that it is kind of sitting in your subconscious, is creating a kind of hesitation around taking similar decisive action. This is like you have to overthink now. This is, and overthinking in the way that isn't truly like conducive to progress. It's more overthinking in like the ways that things could go wrong. This is thinking about, yeah, it really is just that. It's like, well, if I do this, then what if, it really is like a skill to just be able to pull out the worst case scenarios, is what it seems like. But I believe that you have become, at least in the recent past, more aware of that, because moving forward, this is literally talking about, we have temperance in the chariot, moving into a lot more cards that I'm just not going to name them all. But this is really talking about sitting with yourself, taking the time to sort through. And I'm not saying like don't plan anything. I'm really not saying that. But there is a fine line to walk that this temperance is really emphasizing, where it's like planning, yes. You want to be prepared to the best of your ability, however, you might be the type of person that likes to check things twice, and that's fine. A third time, a fourth time, a fifth time, now you're moving into a state of doubt. Now you're starting to kind of distrust yourself and your inner voice. And now it's leaning into the stagnation, right? So this is about identifying that pattern when you're in it and overcoming it. Because when we move into the chariot, and this is saying, I feel like you were someone who battles constantly with your internal world. This might be talking about mental health specifically. This might just be talking about self-doubt, anxiety, the all the whatever it is that kind of gets you into a place of feeling like you can't, for whatever reason. I'm seeing the work, and I'm seeing like the outpouring of emotion and just intent and like perseverance. There is such a big note about not letting that inner saboteur voice speak for too long, not giving them the microphone, and not giving into anxiety. I know things are a little, I mean, this really is just presenting as like there's fear. There's fear, but it's interesting because it's like on a normal day, I think you are so dissatisfied with, I don't know, it just feels like there aren't many things that just in your day are exciting, truly exciting, things that like are inspiring, things that make you feel like, I don't know, like you're doing something important, if that makes sense. I'm just seeing this loop of thought that Do we have the Two of Wands here? Oh, we have the Three of Wands here again. This is just talking about moving beyond this place of, I think too, you've been in a space of like trying to track back how you've kind of arrived at where you are. This is looking at all of the decisions that you've made, all of the investments that you've made. I'm even getting like this could be some type of really trying to deconstruct like even the friendships at different times of your life, or the relationships and like your proximity to different people at different times of your life, and how all of these things are connected. But this is really talk because maybe you're beyond that. You've moved beyond that. Maybe you've separated from certain things and, people, places, all that. um there is going to come a time, this opportunity, when it presents itself, to fully embody what it is you have been working towards, who it is you have been striving to become. There is going to come a time when you are challenged. And I don't mean to say this to like inspire any fear within you. This is just the nature of things, whether it's people that are going to be challenging you and like, oh, really, you're that person? I knew you when, kind of a thing that people tend to do when start to really embody a version of yourself that they don't recognize. Whether this is people kind of coming at you for your beliefs is also a big hit that I'm getting. I don't know. And again, this is one of those like, well, I knew you when, like, you used to say this, or you used to do this, or whatever. Or people just generally doubting you. You know what I mean? Maybe you are someone that has dreams that just supersede what most people around you allow themselves to believe that they can accomplish. There is going to come a time when who you are becoming is called into question. And this can even be from yourself, right? This can be this internal, like, do I really deserve to be this, fabulously abundant and loved and cared for? And, like all of those things. Do you believe yourself to be deserving? Are you worthy? Or are other people's thoughts, feelings, and judgments going to get at you like maybe they have in the past? Are the overwhelming thoughts, are you going to allow them to, take precedent? Your heart space is expanding, um along with your potential for abundance in all of its forms. When your heart space expands and you love yourself unconditionally, that opens up the doorway for everything else, because it allows you to see other people more clearly and the ways that they reflect aspects of yourself back to you. And it helps you learn lessons with a lot more grace and speed. Opening this, your heart space, allows you to allow yourself to be cared for by the universe, and that abundance and those opportunities and the, the all of the resources, whether they are material or not, to pour in. And you don't block them or cut them off, because you know that you are worthy and deserving of them. That they are also just reflections and aspects of your wonderful, beautiful self. This is all of that. This is in, and at the very, very end of it, we have the Nine of Pentacles. We have that strong foundation, the assuredness of self, the being able to stand on one's own and, provide for others if you want. This is not needing external validation. This is not caring about what other people are saying or doing, because you have what you got going on. And that is, perfect for you, and you're content and just enjoying and loving life as it comes. I'm going to pull an oracle for you. I think you're doing great. I think what you've been doing is working. Um, I see you. I see all of the hard work. I see the struggles. I see, the times when you felt like nothing had changed and things weren't going to change, and all of that. And the fact that you are still here, and the fact that you continue, that you still maintain your vision for what it is that you want to create and who it is you want to become. I just wanted to say that takes a kind of strength. Um, that is divine. That's just divine will, I believe. That expression coming through you. So keep going. We have pulled number 10. Hey, number 10. Easy does it, is what it says. It is a picture of a sloth. We're gonna see what it has to say. Easy does it. Pace versus race. This is the mantra of the moment. Your soul is in no rush, no matter what your current circumstances are trying to tell you. Easy now. Opportunities, assistance, answers, and serendipities appear when we slow down enough to notice them. Moving at the pace of guidance means cultivating the presence of mind to recognize when it's time to pause and when it's time to act. Part of loving your magnificent self is realizing your life is worth moving at the soul's pace rather than the rat race. I just love when little synchronicities like that happen. Because yeah, that's take your time. I know a lot of people right now feel like they're kind of behind. Like there's just this sense that time is somehow speeding up and pressing in and weighing on us. I invite you to breathe deeply. I really do. You're not late. You're right on time. It is okay. All you've got is time. All we've got is time. We're just passing the time. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope that this message helped. I hope that it made sense. If this reading did resonate with you and you stuck around to this point, I greatly appreciate you. And if you want to let me know, you should definitely drop a like or leave a comment. I truly, truly love hearing from you guys. If you want to know next time I upload a video, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And I really do hope to see you next time. Bye.